For the tape and scissors, I changed the material and functions to play with the tree. These deformed objects triggered actions to play with the tree for the first time since I was 5 years old. I was happy, and in the end, I felt like I had become a friend with the tree. Rechair. One day, I was in the studio and looking out the window. While I was looking out, I wondered what the tree would be looking at. I was sorry that the tree had been seeing such a bad landscape every day. Humans have always wanted to build a house in a place with a good view, but has anyone who planted this tree here ever thought about what landscape that this tree would look at? This made me think that we needed to look at trees as the same living beings as humans. I thought, what if I made this chair to make myself and you look up the tree? I wanted to suggest to people to transpose their perspective. I left my new chair in the park for a while to provoke some questions to people passed by. Refund. My transposing action triggered me more eager to communicate with the tree. I thought about how this phone of mine should be reformed in a way that allowed more actions for communication. I made a long note to hear the sound from the top of the tree and a small bell to hear the sound from the body. I could hear the sound of the leaves moving, the wind, and the echoing sound from inside of the pipe. The sound was more dynamic than I thought. I tried to speak. How are you? But will the tree understand English? I wanted to respond to the tree with my own voice. Ba 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 ba. This time I used a small bell. Every time I moved my hand, it made a slightly different sound. And these sounds depended on the shape of the space of the tree. Also, this made me look at the bark and textures of the tree in great detail. This time, I decided to copy the sound from the tree, as if I was learning the sound of the tree. Read thermometer. Rather than measuring the temperature, I thought that it would be better if a thermometer was an object that triggered the act of caring for the tree. The body of the thermometer turned into a tree branch, and both ends of the thermometer transformed into a bunch of strings. I tried to feel the tree. In fact, if I touched the tree directly with my hands, it could be easier to feel the tree. But still, on the other hand, I felt connected to the tree with this object. This feeling led my hand to massage the tree. I took a small one and kept massaging actively by rubbing or rolling this object. I gave massages on parts where there was a lot of cracking and the color turned black. After repeating these actions several times, I suddenly felt that I was in love with this tree and wanted to be healthy for a long time. Did my massaging action make me feel this emotion? Rebook. Trees could not have liked books written in human language, so what would be a good story for the tree? I gathered the fallen branches. Isn't each of these branches the story of a tree? If I make a book of them, the tree would certainly like it more than a book made of text. I went to the tree with 3 different versions of books that I made with branches. Is the tree reading the story of the branches of the tree well? I wondered what story they would be. I picked up these branches and leaves again and placed them on books. Have other stories been added? When I played with them, I tried to put images of the shapes, textures, and colors on my memory. I hope their stories will be growing in my mind too. Sketchpad. One day I found the shadows of the leaves were moving onto my sketchpad. Leaves, grass, and branches moved beautifully in various forms. maybe this is a real drawing from the tree. This time I wanted to respond to what the tree had drawn. I started drawing what I felt from their movement. I showed my drawing to the tree. Tree, do you like my drawing? Then I helped the tree to draw on my drawing. I hung the thread on the branch and tied the charcoal. The charcoal began to move slowly in response to the sound of the wind, and fine lines passed over my drawing through the paper. Seeing the moving lines, I was very impressed. The lines varied in thickness. Some lines were drawn with very weak trembling motion, and some lines were drawn with a strong force. After trying a few more times, I learned that the drawing of the tree changes even in my movement. I gradually got into the rhythm. Finally, the tree and I felt like we were drawing together. I realized that it is not so difficult to make myself be natural and interact with the nature. What I did was simply catch the moment of nature and myself.